Statement?
Proud of our guys. Good win. Aiden Canuck, for him to be able to give us 5 innings the way he did, looked like had some misfires, and that happens to good pitchers all the time. But the really good ones may not have their best command, may not have a pitch working for them that day, but they still find a way to get outs. And for him to escape with only a couple of single runs in 2 frames, that was huge for us to get through the 5th. And then I thought what Drew Titsworth did tonight saved our entire bullpen, really extended his outing, and he was just pounding the zone. Outside of a 2-out double and a hit by pitch, he really just limited opportunities with just a relentless attack of the strike zone. So that was really, really good to see, and certainly much needed. And then offensively, it was a tough day to be a hard hit fly ball. There was just really nothing happening in the air tonight with the way the wind was blowing and the cold air. And thought we hit a few balls hard that would have been homers. JJ and Tristan Becerra for sure, maybe even Cam's first at bat, but we had to find ways to score in other ways. And Dom Listi continuing to set the table, really set the tone offensively, get his hit by pitches, his walks, had the big RBI double, but with only 5 hits and still finding ways to score 6 runs via the walk, and really good executional baseball of just getting guys over, getting guys in. It's just a well-played game and good defenses like we've been playing. So proud of the to win on Friday, and got a lot of ball left the rest of the weekend.
Any questions for players?
Listi, what was it like to play in DKS for the first time?
It was awesome. Since the moment I've got here, we've always talked about as a team, just hearing what the guys' experiences were last year. It's really cool to play with all of us together and just go enjoy a moment as a team there.
You've been one of the best and most consistent hitters to start the season. What's gone into that, going into a new culture, a new school, all that stuff? How has it been, and how does it feel?
Yeah, we have a great support staff here, and then just every day we're doing early work with Six, Mazer, and Paulie. Just as a team, we go in there, we get a ton of reps in. They set the table for us and set the foundation for us there. Like Coach Bakich talks about our foundation all the time. We have a great foundation approach physically and mentally, and we just try our best to bring that out there and execute that consistently every single day.
Titsworth, what was it like to come in behind Canuck and what he did, and then you just kind of save the bullpen, like Coach said, for the rest of the 3 games?
It was a great start by Aiden. As always, guy's a great ball player, and really, I would give all credit to the defense. The defense played great tonight, and that's really how that happened.
I guess Drew, talk about the defense. Josh Pano, how often does he make plays like that in practice and games, and how comfortable does it make you guys knowing you have that?
Pano's he's doing that every day. He does trick plays on a regular basis too during practice, but as you saw last weekend, just making ridiculous plays all the time, and any ball that's hit over there that he's gonna make a play on it.
Drew, with you guys getting some time with Eli, visiting with you guys, pumping you guys up, what do you think that does for the team, or what do you guys talk about among each other? This young guy fighting through so much and getting to hang out with you.
I think it really just puts it into perspective for all of us. You see a guy like Eli who's got challenges, and he goes out there and he's the happiest kid in the world, never complains. He's always doing whatever he can. He's always asking to play catch. So I think seeing the smile on his face and his encouragement just always keeps pushing us.
Anything else for the players? Good. All right, thank you, players.
Questions for Coach?
Coach, you seem to have really hit the nail on the head with the transfers this offseason, with Pano and Dom starting off so well. What do you like? How do you feel about that? What do you think about that going into the rest of the season? How proud of you are them? Coming into a new situation, all things like that.
Yeah, those 2 guys, Listi and Pano, that you mentioned, grad transfers, their last shot at college baseball. They want to be a part of a winner. You know, it's I love the grad transfer. That's kind of who we've gravitated to the most, even from the days at Michigan post-COVID world. Just I love that mentality of the grad transfer that, you know, they got one shot at college baseball and they're willing to do, you know, anything and everything. And, you know, everyone is at the tippy top of college baseball, is more active in the portal now, and you just got, you know, proven stats and credentials, you know, with a level that the guy played at and proved himself. We've had some success, but we've also turned down some really, really, really physically talented kids that talked about, you know, kind of their stepping stone, whether it be just, you know, to the draft or to, you know, their stats or whatever. And, you know, then you got guys like Pano and Listi that are just total team guys. And you can tell by the way they play that they're team guys. The same thing with all the transfers we have, you know, Gaffney, Priest, everyone that's transferred in, Chufo, everyone. And we're just super picky and super selective. And, you know, being a really good player is half of it. But being a great teammate is maybe even the bigger half. And we've been fortunate that these guys wanted our type of program, wanted to play at the highest level, but wanted to be part of a program like this where we value the team more than the individual role.
What do you think it says about the team to be 3-1 and not hit a long ball yet, and actually being able to come from behind in one game and just keep putting runs up that?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's funny because we have actually, I would say, as much or more power as we had this last year. It's just circumstances. You know, you open up the season in Globe Life, we hit some balls, you know, really well that just they didn't end up over the fence. Tonight we hit 2 for sure, maybe even 3 that on any other day they're out of the yard. So it goes to show you that it pays to not be one-dimensional as an offense, and when you have a blend of speed and power, when you can score in multiple ways, whether that's the stolen base and the bunt and the hit and run and small ball, or sit back and wait for the 3-run homer, or just try to have QABs up and down the lineup. I love how connected the offense is 1 to 9. Nick Schnabel, Griffin Mazer, they just preach that with our offensive players. And that's what it takes, you know, because if you're a one-dimensional, power-only type team and you're waiting to hit homers and you play on a day like today where you got a cold front coming through and the wind's blowing straight in, it's going to be a tough day to score. And so, you know, credit to our guys. The hitting was hard to come by. The long ball was hard to come by. But we found a way to take our walks, get hit by a few pitches, run the bases well, and find a way to score 6.
Something drew out there for 3-4 innings. That's something you wanted to see out of him, kind of like an extended relief role, or was it just kind of what was working today for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we had Malstad playing catch down there. We Reed Garris, Nathan Dvorsky, like some of those closer, high leverage guys. But the way Drew was throwing, let's send him back out, and have those guys if he gets in trouble. He just was pitching so well that we just thought, you know, this is a perfect opportunity to extend him, see how far he can go, and preserve the bullpen for a doubleheader and a game on Sunday. So with 3 games in the next 2 days, having him do what he did put us in a really good spot.
Coach, what did it feel like for you going from all the electricity and the commotion last time you guys were out here in the Super Regional to then today finally, you know, get to be back out here and have the fan support?
Yeah, I mean, just like the fans, been excited for the last 8 months to get back out here and, you know, play baseball with them. You know, I certainly look at that as the DKS atmosphere. We were playing with them. They are truly a 10th man atmosphere, and it was great to see. It seemed like we had a really good crowd, especially early in the game. Showed up, and it's tough to do when it's 40-something degrees, but they did. So we certainly appreciate that, and, you know, I'm just, you know, hell-bent on wanting to improve the fan experience for them too. So, you know, if you notice tonight, we had kids, you know, instead of our team just doing stretch group every inning, we're bringing kids onto the field for stretch group. Where Michael Marianos and the marketing team is working on how can we do more things. We can't do full-on Savannah Bananas, but we can bring more of the crowd and engage more of the fan experience and bring them into the action onto the field. So you saw tonight our players went in when we saluted the veterans. They went into the crowd and shook the veterans' hands. We got kids leading stretch group every inning. We're going to have more in-game promotions in between innings, just so, you know, we're happy about averaging 5,000 fans a game, but we're certainly not satisfied with that. And, you know, I personally don't see any reason why Clemson can't be one of the handful of schools that ends up averaging over 10,000 fans a game. Nobody can tell me anything why we can't do that. And we can't do it right now because we don't have the supply of seats, but if we keep creating this demand of producing good baseball on the field, and also it's fun to come watch our games, and the kids and the fans are, you know, in the action in between innings, it's just that, you know, we can have an electric environment here. And so we're just, you know, finding ways to improve that fan experience all the time. So I appreciate the fans more than they know, appreciate the energy that they create. And I appreciate the Clemson fan base in general, just following our players on social media as we move into this new commercially driven NIL component when the world changes and legislation passes. Having as many people follow our players on social media builds their brand, builds their influence, and for businesses that want to, you know, have Clemson baseball promote their stuff and use our players to promote their stuff, sell their stuff, advertise, market, it really helps our guys and these athletes get a leg up when they have an influence and a following on social media. So I appreciate the fans and their support in a lot of ways, not just showing up to the games.
And speaking of that kid involvement with Eli, all the time you guys got to spend with him recently, what was your favorite moment that you got with him and just the impact that he's had for the team?
Yeah, definitely the speech is how natural it is for him. I mean, he's a 10-year-old kid that loves to play ball, and that's an inspiration in itself, that, you know, he can take one-handed swings and he's like got pop in his bat, and he catches it with one hand, takes the glove off, throws it with the same hand. But just his outlook and the perspective that he has, there's no excuse making, blaming. He's out there with a huge smile on his face, looking at himself like he's one of the guys as well. So it's a well-earned roster addition, number 14 on Team 128, Eli Honecker. And I just love the positive energy that he brings. He was a magnet during the entire Globe Life tournament and that college showdown. And, you know, huge credit and shout out to Shriners Children's Hospital and what they do to put kids on the spotlight like Eli to get that experience as well. So Eli's a bright, shining light, and I'm glad he's on our team this year.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thank you, Coach.